Before we begin tonight's Rantcast, I just wanted to bring you up to speed and myself and remind you and me. I'm coming your way. Jacksonville on March 7th. I'll be at the Florida Theater on March 8th at the Ruth Eckerd Hall, which is in Clearwater, Florida. March 11th, the Van Wezel Performing Arts Hall in Ware, Sarasota. March 13th, the Lyric Theater in Stuart, Florida. And March 14th, Fort Myers, Florida at the Barbara B. Mann Performing Arts Hall. March 21st, that's right, yes, Toronto, Canada, at the Massey Hall there. And March 22nd, up to Phenomenal, Montreal, Les Olympia, and then April 29th, I'm returning to my alma mater to perform where I have on numerous occasions at Memorial Hall. That's the schedule. Look it up online. Check it out at lewisblack.com. I hope to see you out there.
This could all go horribly wrong at any minute.
Hello and welcome to the 213th edition of Lewis Black's Rantcast, entitled The Incomprehensibility of the Incomprehensible, Part 2, or Part 2A. No, I'm not sitting down. Nope. I needed to just get up and walk around because we are continuing on with what is truly madness. And I am just spewing it out. And all I can do is kind of go, okay, here's what's happened. Because it's one can barely, I can't contain it. Okay? It comes in and it makes me crazy. And of course, as soon as I finish this, what comes across my computer? But, here's a piece of news that literally just came in. We're Monday. U.S. votes against the UN resolution condemning Russia for the Ukraine war. Let's repeat that. The United States, the country that I live in and believe in and think has really been on top of its game as much as it can, okay? It's had its moments and it's had its good and it's bad and it's whatever. But it's always kind of been on track, especially when it comes to Russia. My family came from Russia. I've already talked about this 1,000 times. But for God's sake, the U.S. voted. We voted against. Were you involved in the vote? No, we weren't. The UN resolution condemning Russia for the Ukraine war. Who else? Whose fault is it then? Huh? Was it just the wind? It was the wind. The wind pushed the Russian soldiers toward there. Is somebody kidding me? Okay? And because of the nature of what goes on here, look, it's basically like blaming the woman for being raped by the son of a bitch. Okay? Somebody kidding me? Oh, that Ukraine, they were just, they were out there showing all of their stuff, their breadbasketness and all of those minerals, and they were just asking for it. They were wearing them like baubles around their neck, and they were just begging. Are you kidding it? The Ukraine was begging to be invaded. Stop it. Okay? Bullshit's got to stop. You condemn the Russians for what they did. It's disgusting. All right? Son of a bitch. Get on the right side. And I'm beginning to believe maybe really all he wants is his alliances have nothing to do with morality. Okay? We've gone back to, it's like Machiavellian, I guess. And I don't know that well enough because I've already forgotten that bullshit. But it's already too much, okay? Already, way beyond. He's creating alliances for money, okay? He basically wants an alliance with Russia. He wants to normalize relations with them because he's going to do better cash-wise. Okay? He is. Not us. He is. Okay? Because it doesn't help us. It doesn't help us at all. We established I don't have the energy to fucking argue this shit. Because why? Because I shouldn't have to. Nobody should. Okay? You find the joke here. There is no joke. Okay? Because this is the normalization of living in satire. Oh, sure, it wasn't really the fault of the Russians. It was those Ukrainians. Chuckle fuck, chuckle fuck, chuckle. Really, lunacy. Lunacy on a level unimaginable. And we just started. That was just, I've got to go back and go through the other stuff. So that's not enough. So Zelenskyy arrives in the United States to have a discussion with our president, and everybody seems to think, oh, this is going to work out fine because he's going to cut a deal and he's going to give his precious metals to us so that we can do whatever it is that we need to do with them, and so that our president will feel like somehow he got paid back. He has been yelling. Our president has been yelling that to whoever comes through, it was Macron and the Brit, Starmer, whatever, and he's yelling at him that, they got their money back. And they both point out, no, they didn't get their money back from the Ukraine, okay? Well, and why didn't they give it back? Because they kind of have a sense of history and territory. And even though we are out over here across an ocean where we feel really safe, in our delusion that somehow these others are kind of going, nope, we have to kind of help them out, as we should. No, but we need our money back because we need to use it to make sure that, our very, very wealthy can continue to live in the lifestyle that they've become accustomed to. We can't have them suffering in any fucking way. This is just, so nothing. What occurs there is that Vance and the president get so upset because he is not grateful enough for what we've done, and then so they go right after him. You piece of shit! You aren't grateful enough for this, and you don't know what this means. And meanwhile, Zelenskyy has been treated literally like a doormat by us. Okay, and he's done everything he can, and God knows he's exhausted, and they are fighting, and he's been called. This guy called him a dictator. Right? And that's, well, did I really call him that with some sort of a grin on his face? What is the matter with us that we tolerate this kind of behavior? Okay? All right? And for those of you out there, this is really, no. Read a history book. Spend 10 minutes looking at a couple of paragraphs about, World War II and the way things work and the Russians. But we're going to side with the Russians on this. No! Which is what it precisely looks like. Well, we're going to take care of you. We were going to help you out. What? And in the end, everyone knows this, that it's not about being grateful to us. It's about being grateful to him. It's got to stop. All right? Good God, they had a cabinet meeting the other day, and they're all there, they kissing the ring finger, getting their tongue up the Baduda. It's ludicrous. Ludicrous. No one in the history of this goddamn country that I can remember has acted like that. That he needs to be, the compliments that need to be bestowed on him. Oh, if it weren't for you. Come on. Huh? In part, a little humility would be nice. You know why? Because it goes a long fucking way. And that is what we need to be as a people. And that is part of what Christianity teaches us. But so many people believe that God shows him, and more people than I could imagine, and not millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions, but enough, even if it's 10. Ludicrous. And so now who knows where we're at? We got to sit through this chapter 306 of anxiety, so that he makes sure that I don't even know what he makes sure of. And Vance piling on. Vance, who's over in Europe, telling them that they really aren't letting they really need to let these extreme parties do what they will, and they really don't have a freedom of speech in Germany. They can't afford to. Has Vance ever read a history book? Who the hell gives these people degrees? Huh? I can understand if he went to some, Mississippi Junior College, even that would require more of him than the degree he's got. How do you miss that? How do you miss history? Okay? There's a reason in Germany that they put their foot down. They don't want to go there again. They don't want to deal with that shit again. They see it in themselves and in their people, and it's not going to happen. And how do you do that? You do that by going, no. This is as far as you can go, and that's fucking it. And this idiot has the nerve to tell him, well, it'd be so much better off with really complete freedom of speech. Ain't going to work there. And I don't want it working there as a Jewish person. Come on. Please. Son of a bitch. Extraordinary. And meanwhile, the Washington Post closes down shop. Really, their editorial page will only talk about personal liberty and a free market. And if you want to talk about anything else, forget it. Not on our editorial pages, and you better come down on the right side of personal liberties and the free market system, or forget it. We're not going to publish that kind of trash. Unbelievable. So the editor walks away. He was a pretty brilliant guy, from what I gather. And I actually had a subscription to the Washington Post. I had it for my mom and my pop, and I kept it. I kept it because I think it's important for newspapers to survive, because they appear to be the last ones who require resumes, which is what you did before. Not in this administration. No resume required. Don Bongino, I think I mentioned in the last one, but I can't remember because so much is coming out and so much is going in, and then I'm spewing it out. He's now the assistant to Patel, Cash Patel, I think, and who's the head of the FBI, and he's the assistant. And what he was a New York City policeman. Okay, sure, and that's fine. Not enough to be, I think, the second in command at the FBI, which has always gone to someone in the FBI who's been a ranking officer there, so that they can help who's ever in charge to kind of, keep in touch with the folks who actually do the work. So, but he's got nothing on his resume, so that's why I think it's important. And the Post is going, nope, we're not gonna allow this anymore. I'm Jeff Bezos, and we really need a free market, and I need personal liberty so I can launch rockets into space with Katy Perry. And that's the news of the day. There's the distraction. Katy Perry's going into space along with oh, come on, Lewis. I can't remember all this stuff anymore. Gayle King, who will be going up with Katy Perry and Jeff Bezos' new squeeze, because he needs his personal liberty, and he's going to shoot her into space on his blue hot diamond, or whatever they call that thing. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable. And so he just recently, this is what I was getting to until I took that off ramp. He's basically they wanted to put an ad in the Washington Post about firing Musk, who really isn't even the head of the Doge, but who the administration says. Look at this. The Trump administration claimed in a court filing that Elon Musk is not the leader of the Department of Government Efficiency, or even part of the cost-slashing initiative, despite President Trump crediting the billionaire with doing a great job as the Doge head. Okay? Wow. I just, what does court matter? Just tell him whatever the fuck you want. He considers him the head of it. That's what really matters, doesn't it? But it's court, so it doesn't matter that his name is written down on whatever the document that you have to sign to be the head of Doge. Unbelievable. So it was Common Cause, and a couple of other groups wanted him fired, and they wanted a wraparound, meaning on the paper at the Senate, to the Pentagon, the White House, and Congress. And they said, nah, we're not going to do that. The Post said, I think it was Bezos probably, not going to do it, because God knows he's doing a hell of a job. Son of a bitch. Freedom of speech, my ass, Bezos. Freedom of speech, my ass. Good for you. Lock down that opinion page. Make sure of that. Let's march ourselves to Zip It prison. And meanwhile, he's over there. He's over there, the vice president, telling the Germans that they're not that their speech isn't free enough. Are you, this is madness. This is madness. And then this is from the head of Doge or whatever. This is a man who's created his power. I'm talking about Musk, by throwing money at the campaign of Donald Trump at the very end, just throwing it like $260 million or something. And you don't think he bought himself a position, okay, that doesn't even exist in the cabinet and has more power than any of those positions have? More power. And Congress just sits around with its thumb firmly up their ass and the other one in their mouth, okay? And then I can't even, just before I came on reading that Lindsey Graham talking about, he really ought to apologize, Zelenskyy, because, if he really expects us, what, are you kidding me? No sympathy, no empathy, all right? Son of a bitch. We've got to grow up, all right? I mean, we grow up, we got to just, it starts in here. It doesn't start in here, and it doesn't start in your goddamn fucking wallet. Son of a bitch. Let's wrap this up. This is too tiring. I got things to go. I got to do shows next week. I don't even know what I'm going to say. I'm going to have to just do it lying down on a gurney with an IV drip. Just to prove that we're not the only country that's clinically insane and with craziness amok. The Earl of England's Earl of Yarma sued his parents for the trauma. Get this, the trauma of having not inherited the family's 6,000-acre, $105 million estate on his 30th birthday. That's trauma. Whew. Imagine how much money he's got access to anyway. I mean, he's living probably in a castle. William Seymour said the news upended his life and forced him to seek professional help and counseling. I see a shrink. What shrink do you go to deal with entitled? Boy, my entitlement needs to be entitled, and it wasn't entitled. What am I going to do about my lack of entitlement? Who do you go to see about your lack of entitlement? Huh? Who? Who's the psychiatrist who deals with that? And what does that psychiatrist charge? Maybe that's why he's upset. He can't pay the shrink. Whew. Probably get up letters about that. You can't call him that. Can't call him a shrink. And then finally, things are really turning. Listen to this. It's just incredible. The Sicilian police secretly recorded a group of alleged mafiosi bemoaning the miserable quality of new recruits. Imagine that. The mafia can't get good recruits in Sicily, home of the mob. It's where it started. See The Godfather. If you haven't, go see it. Okay? I'm sure there's a bunch of you out there who haven't seen it. See it. 1 and 2. I'm not so sure about 3. I never was. But their particular concern is the youngsters' lack of fortitude under police interrogation, complained one mobster, which has left the group on our knees. Got that? The lack of fortitude under police interrogation, complained one mobster, which has left the group on our knees. The mafia can't find recruits with a backbone. Wow. And we're over here yelling at the Ukraine like a mob boss, How come you don't thank us for what we gave you? We gave you all this stuff. Shouldn't you thank us more? We really want your jewels because they're hot. We like hot jewels. Oh, stop. We are just out of our minds at this point, and it's got to stop. I mean, it really does. And that we don't have help. Okay, we have no help. They're trying to vote to get rid of. I mean, they're doing everything they can to get rid of Medicaid, and they're doing everything that they can to fucking hamstring, Social Security, which is easy to deal with, just by taxing those who make $1 gazillion a little more. Because I think as high as they go is $150,000, and then they stop taxing them. Nope. It would help if they did that. It would help too if for those people who I don't need to go into this. I don't need to solve these problems. I don't get paid enough. They do. Oh, they do. I don't get paid on this. It can't be a side hustle of mine. It's coming up with solutions for the federal government, for Congress. I mean, I work for the federal government. Those people are dedicated. I said it last week. I'm saying it again. All right. They do the best that they can under some conditions that are crazy, like the IRS, and they're working some of them with computers that need to be modernized. We need to enter the 21st century. Maybe we will someday, and we'll do it. We won't be afraid of it. We'll have empathy. Those will be grand times. Grand times. All right. I hope you enjoy today's Rantcast. The rants that are rolling in get better and better. Not that the ones before weren't, but I think as we play this thing out, I think folks seem to find it easier and easier to write, and really anything. Write about anything. Remember to keep it short, to the point. If you think it's too long, drop some stuff. Okay, stay on point. Enjoy it. Have a good time. Let it rip. Thanks for giving me that opportunity to read your work. It's a privilege and a pleasure, even if it doesn't get on the air. It is an absolute privilege and a pleasure that you share that innermost angry child and that innermost angry adult with me. Thanks so much. And here's hoping spring comes soon and everything calms down a bit. Maybe starting with, I'm not calming down. Not until the idiots stop being stupid. Thanks. I'm an idiot too. Men, if you're losing your hair, it doesn't mean you can't find it again. Try Hims Hair Loss Solutions, and you'll be joining thousands who have found their hair again. Even though it's common amongst men, it can be hard to deal with hair loss. Hell, it's hard to talk about it for a lot of men, as they can feel insecure about how it makes them look or feel. Hims has allowed for men to seek help and restore their hair by accessing their personalized hair loss solutions. Hims provides you with convenient and quality access to a range of hair loss treatments that work, all from the comfort of your couch. Treating hair loss simply with doctor-trusted options and clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. You can choose from personalized chewable, oral, spray, and serum treatments to find what works best for you. The process is simple and 100% online, so there are no uncomfortable doctor visits. All you have to do is answer a few questions, and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to you for free. No insurance is needed, and one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. Hims has hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, and they can help you get your confidence back too, with visibly thicker and fuller hair. So start your free online visit today at hims.com/Lewis. That's HIMS.com/Lewis for your personalized hair loss treatment options. hims.com/Lewis. Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Here comes some new rants, and first one from our Canadian cousin, if we can say that, Laurie Durbant. Canadian here, probably heard this previously. Your president is an asshole. Complete asshole. I assume you know that. Tariffs don't work. We will destroy you. Not the other way around. I wish I had more to say. I don't. We have trading partners that aren't you. We don't need you. We have friends. You are not a friend. Goodbye. Thank you, Laurie, for making an important point that needs to be made over and over and over again. Okay, I'm coming to Canada, and I'm very excited about it. And the fact that he don't get it drives me nuts. Not that I'm excited about it, but just how important you folks are. Ridiculous. Just ridiculous. From RP, making an important point, I think. I've heard it said we've been lulled into believing we're not poor because while the cost of living is expensive, our luxuries are cheap. I remember in the 80s when rent was cheap, but every luxury cost a fortune. If you had a microwave and a VCR, you were a king. If you had a Sega or a Nintendo, you're pretty much the 1%. Those things were so expensive. But rent was $200 a month. When I was 8, we lived in a 5-bedroom farmhouse with servant quarters, a spiral staircase, and a room we simply referred to as the ballroom. My parents recently told me they paid $250 a month in rent for that house. But we couldn't afford a color TV because that was rich people's stuff. If you saved the money you'd spend on those luxuries in the 80s, you could really get ahead. That's worth 6 months of rent. Now, my rent is $3,000 a month, but if I want an entertainment system, a cell phone, every TV show and movie at my fingertips, and a vacation, I can have them. So I feel very privileged. But I'm still poor because rent is squeezing me dry. If I took away all those luxuries, I might save 3 weeks of rent. It's like George Carlin said, there are 2 political parties, 2 oil companies. But if I want a bagel, I got 23 flavors to choose from. We've been duped into the illusion of choice, and we've been duped into the illusion of riches. Capitalism is flailing on its deathbed. This is not sustainable for 99% of the population, which leaves us the 1%, doesn't it, RP? And I'm glad you shared it with us, your rant, and bringing back an important point that George Carlin made back then and has not lost any of its point. It's perfect. You nailed it. I'm thrilled. Thank you. This comes to us from Laura Austin, and get ready. Hi, Lewis. What I want to yell about is all these ads for all over your body deodorant. What the fuck? If you stink, take a shower. If you still stink after a shower, you aren't doing it right. Or you need to see a doctor. Why should I have to see a woman, it's always a woman, talking about her crotch's hoobastank? Jesus Christ! Wash yourself. Take a fucking shower and be done with it. Anyway, be well. Laura Austin. Laura, thanks for sharing that, because there are a lot more of those ads on now. And they're starting to bring men into them, but not They're not as long, those ads, as they are about women who seem to have problems everywhere, and they don't. And if they do, you've just made your point, and I deeply appreciate it. David Schweitzer wants to yell, and I don't blame him. Commercials on LSD. I read recently that there has been an uptick in LSD use among executives. No shit. Since when have you known anyone with diabetes to proclaim how happy they are to be a diabetic and then break into a dance routine that would have made Bob Fosse throw up? Who came up with this never-ending stylized bombardment on our senses for multiple consumer products? They all have cheesy smiles plastered on their various faces, shilling all manner of junk. Ever try to drink a beer with a smile on your face? Not happening. That and the stupid lemming human scenarios, such as the latest drug or car, or where this group of zombies march toward, and what I can only assume is a drug X or a new vehicle utopia. My favorite is the idiots in various stages of undress, speeding towards some heart attack food emporium's offering. Don't worry, drug X will fix you up. Not. Their verbal small print disclaimer mentions the dark side, like purple diarrhea of the mouth or deadly conflicts with your other meds. The catchphrase is the ask your doctor. Fuck all of you acid-addled twats. I propose that everyone flood their local vehicle dealerships. Take the family along to test drive any car or truck that you desire with no intention of buying anything. Fuck them, especially the hybrids with the red Chinese exploding lithium batteries. Please wear your helmets when you let a Tesla drive itself. Fuck Musk too. P.S. Please to check out the online medical journal of psychoactive drugs. Was psychedelic from 1967 to 1980. It's been way ahead of the social curve since 1967. Thank you for your time. Sincerely, David Schweitzer, and thank you for that catalog that bounced around as if you were on LSD, David, and I'm not accusing you of anything. But if you were, happy trails. I enjoyed that. I'm sure some of you, fuck all of you acid-addled twats. Wow, we are living in some times, aren't we? From Barry Yates, and I'd like to thank you for this. I have two things that tick me off, and I'm going to use the weeb that a certain politician has made famous to explain. First off is the candy known as circus peanuts. Motherfuck, they're certainly not peanuts, and you'll never find them at a circus. I hate to admit it, I've consumed more than my fair share. My lifelong problem is they generally come in two states, stale and something approaching fucking granite. I've been asked to leave more than a few stores for trying to fucking gauge what I'm in for with a quick squeeze. And this brings me to my second beef, bathroom mirrors. Hold on for that fucking weave. Louis, I'll be 72 in May, which is far closer to dead than I care to be. But what the fuck is up with bathroom mirrors? Every morning, after a quick breakfast of a handful of circus peanuts and a Mountain Dew, I head into the bathroom to comb what hair I still have and take a quick check of what time is done to my face. Holy crap. Each time I check, I think, hey, I'm not, nor have I ever been brutally handsome, but I think at least I don't look like a half-dead Rupert Murdoch-looking walking cadaver. Then I head out to my car, take a quick check of my mirrors. Fuck me. What happened in that brief walk? Suddenly my car is occupied by a fucking pasty white corpse looking very much like a 94-year-old codger. Damn, Makes me want to buy a 69 Buick with the turn signal that never goes off. Getting old sucks, but I hear dead ain't nothing to write home about. I decided not to get started on those opposing mirrors at the barber that seem to go on to infinity. Does anyone besides me think they see something maybe living back there? Might be time to cut back on those circus peanuts with that Mountain Dew chaser. Fucking weaves suck. Wow, Barry, you certainly went around a few corners to get to the weave. And thanks for the trip. Oh, man. Wow. We're all getting a little crazier every minute. I'm including myself. Lisa Wallace. This is from Lisa Wallace, and I've never heard anything like this, Lisa, so thank you. As I've said time and again, this is why I do it. I've had it with veterinarian visits for my cat. Every damn time I take her in, the vet says, she needs dental work. Oh my God, she needs dental work. They hand me an estimate that's always around $2,000. Last time they told me she has a condition, a thing cats get, where their mouth, their body, or some shit starts consuming their teeth. And oh, my God, you need this treated now. I'm certain they push dental work because it's obviously a big moneymaker. Why in the fuck would I fall for putting my cat under anesthesia time and again because you say her teeth continue to be fucked up? Why would I keep paying out thousands for my cat's dental work when I can't even afford it for myself? Damn it. Stop it with this, veterinarians. I'm on to you. Wow, Lisa. Boy, I mean, really, literally. Maybe he'd do the work on your teeth for $2,000, which would be a bargain. God, I mean, an implant. It's staggering what dental work costs. But for a cat? Man, wow. My friend Kathleen hasn't told me about that, but she's got that baby cat, so maybe baby cat's got better teeth. I don't know, Lisa, but thank you. Thanks for letting me know about the world of the vet and just how they're pushing the envelope. Miss K. Oh, man. All right, Miss K, here you go. Thanks for sharing. Watching that press conference in the White House with Elon's child climbing all over his head was one of the most unprofessional things I've ever seen. And Trump, our president, our leader, just sat there, looking like a dog that was just spanked with a rolled up newspaper. As a kid, I remember looking forward to the circus coming to town. It's always fun for a few days, but it always left. The circus insanity bullshit isn't going away anytime soon. At this point, I feel like getting out my magic 8-ball and start asking it for fucking advice. Miss K. Well, it might work. It just might work. I sold a magic 8-ball. I don't think it worked too well. Basically, it told you, go fuck yourself. Good luck. You're full of shit. But that's quite wonderful. I mean, and it really does make you think that you should turn to the magic 8-ball, this nonsense. And thank you for your nice words at the end. That I'm able to help you in some fashion. And that what I like, you might think you tragically need us, but we tragically need you too. Wow. No, I think I need you more, Miss K. I mean, not you personally, the whole group. Thanks for that one. We'll be shouting through this one because Michael Towell is pissed. Dear corporate America and your obligatory e-commerce site, I've navigated to your website and would like to check out your wares. What I do not want to do is check your sales page give you my email, or check out your other brands, all via pop-ups within 5 seconds of clicking on an ad. Give me one damn breath to figure out what the hell you were even selling before strong-arming me into a lifelong data swap that will no doubt result in me being digitally harassed via inbox at the least, and my identity stolen at the worst. Just let me decide if I want a long-term digital relationship with your brand on my terms. That certainly needed to be shouted from the rooftops. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Wow. Mark Hughes is upset, but not about the two usual suspects who certainly take a drubbing in the rants that are sent in. Here's a new one. Can we take a minute to remember what an absolute dickhead Mitch McConnell is? The English language doesn't have words vile enough to capture the full measure of his loathsomeness. Leaky bag of syphilitic douche water? Pile of dried rat feces? Not even close. McConnell is so bad, I actually feel sorry for Elaine Chao, his corrupt shrew of a wife. She actually has to sleep with the turtleneck geezer. She may have even had sex with him. Try getting that image out of your head. Ignore the fact that he robbed Obama of putting someone, the very middle of the road, experienced Merrick Garland on the Supreme Court only to hurry up the appointment of that weirdo, Amy Coney Barrett. As despicable as that was, it pales to what he did in January 2021. If not for Mitch, we wouldn't be in the shit pool we're in now. Mitch had the chance to impeach Trump. He had everything he needed. The country was still reeling from January 6th. Senators and representatives were actually scared for their pathetic, cringing lives. Everyone agreed it was the worst thing to happen in Washington since the War of 1812. All Mitch had to do is tell 3 lousy senators to vote their conscience, and we'd have been rid of that buffoon. The idea, the simple, obvious idea that what happened on January 6th was wrong would have been established. Maybe not in the minds of his cult-like followers, but in the minds of enough people that we'd be done with this shit. I mean, sure, we'd have had to put up with Ted Cruz running for president, but do you really think that creepy weasel would have won? Not everyone's as big and as stupid as a majority of Texans seem to be. Cruz's running would have been amusing, the way right-wing nutballs doing anything is supposed to be. But no, Mitch wanted to hold on to his precious majority leader status. How'd that work out for you, Mitch? So now we have to take Trump seriously? Because having shit stuffed down your throats while Trump and his incompetent fascist neophytes do all they can to do to remove every last shred of what little made the United States good is serious. And the fact that the people who voted for the grifter are going to take it up the ass with the rest of us doesn't make it any better. The only thing that gives me even a shred of solace is that you know in your heart of hearts, Mitch hates Trump every bit as much as the rest of us do. I smile just a teeny bit, thinking how he has to pucker up those droopy reptilian lips of his to kiss Trump's sweaty, saggy ass so he can keep his precious seat in the gerontology ward that is the U.S. Senate. Wow. Well said, Mark. Well said, and thanks for taking your time to say it. Thank you. Thanks to all of you for listening to my Rantcast. If you have a rant you want to get off your chest, send it in to me at lewisblack.com/live. You can think of it as therapy. or whatever you want to think of it as. Just let it rip. And I want to thank the true stars of our show, the ranters, and the splendid rants they gave us. Lewis Black's Rantcast was created and hosted by me. Aha, Lewis Black. Our live rant audio was produced by James Salter. Our theme song by Chris Lane. Executive producer, Ben Brewer. Executive producers, Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly.